Hey everybody, thank you for coming back. This is the third and last video in this little series here. If you missed the first or the second video, the link should be on the screen here. But let's jump right into the software and get this project wrapped up. So let's finish up this design by going ahead and working with the lid. So I'm going to switch from having my eye on box and go over and select the eye for lid. And you will see as soon as I do that, that the box actually becomes kind of like transparent. So you can still see it. We can use it for reference, what we are going to do. But at any point, you can hit the light bulb to hide it if you want to. So we are going to design the lid using geometry from our box because we might as well be lazy here. Now here, if I just go over and right click, you will actually see that I don't get any create new sketch. So I'm actually going to go up and select this one up here instead, and then select that top face right there. So we are now working on the lid. We have started our first sketch for the lid. But what we want to do is we actually want to copy all this outer boundary for the lid. So what we can use here is something called project geometry. The shortcut key for project sketches is P for project. So I click on that and we get the project here. We could also click S and search for it. Now I'm going to select all these outer edges right here that we want to use as the outer boundary for the lid. And that piece and that piece. Now I've selected the entire around it. I'm also, even though that I'm still in project, I can hit OK to that. I can still sketch. So I can actually hit this C for circle and also create the clearance holes while I'm in here. So I'm just going to make that 5. Hit enter. I'm going to do another one, C, and type in 5 millimeters. So now I got those in there too. So we captured the outside, and now we have the 2 clearance holes. So now I can hit Q, and then I can select these areas. I'm going to select this area, and I'm going to select this area, so make sure everything is blue. And now we can actually go ahead and extrude that up. And we're going to make that 3 millimeter thick. So one feature in a couple of minutes, we actually pretty much created this whole lid. Pretty neat. Now, if you look at this lid, you will see that there's kind of like 4 tabs on this thing. And we're going to model up those next. Now, in the part itself, there is some play in here, some clearances. However, when you're modeling up in CAD, you normally will model it up nominal. Now, the feature I want to show you now, it is a little, I would say, advanced. So just, if you don't get it, just scroll back and rewatch it. But this is definitely very powerful knowledge to have, I think. So I talked about in the beginning that we're always sketching either on a sketch or a plane. Well, sometimes you don't have that sketch or plane to sketch on, and you can actually create your own. So up here, we have all different kinds of plane tools that can help you create a plane so you actually have something to sketch on. So I'm going to show you that by actually going in. So we have the lid here. And you will see that, of course, in the lid, I have my own origin I can turn on. So we have that right there. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to, just for a second, I can't reach that plane because the box is in the way. So I'm just going to hide the box. And then I'm going to go up here and say offset plane. I'm going to select this plane. And that will now let me create an extra plane that I can sketch on. But just like before, I hate doing math, and I don't really want to start figuring out how minus the 4 millimeters that we made the wall and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hide this portion here that is actually called a body. So I'm going to hide that and turn the box back on. And now if I go inside the box, see, here is the plane that we are working with. I'm not left that offset plane. I can actually select this vertex right here on the inside of the box. And now that plane is placed right there. So I'm using the box as a reference for this. So I'm going to hit OK. And now I can turn back the body of the lid so we can see that. And I can actually turn the box off now. And we now have this plane right exactly where the inside of the box is. So now I can sketch on that. So I'm going to right click on that. I am going to create a new sketch. And you see how I kind of like flip the lid up the way it actually is displayed. I would like to rotate it. So I'm going to go here because I don't like to sketch upside down. So I'm just going to rotate around. And then I'm going to start my sketch. Now here, just like before, I like to use the center as a reference. So I'm going to create another reference line. So I'm going to hit L for my line. And I'm going to select this origin right here. Sketch a line. I don't care about the length of it. Hit escape to get out of the command. And to make a construction, I select the line and hit the X key again. And now I'm actually going to sketch up something similar to this lid. Again, don't try to be too precise. I'm going to hit the line key again. And I'm going to make sure that I hit this line right here. So you see how my crosshair changes. I'm just going to sketch a line up. I'm going to sketch it over here, make sure that it actually hits. I don't want it to necessarily be on the center with the triangle. So I'm just going to go down a little bit, click here. I'm going to make another line from here and kind of be somewhat the same where the other line is. I'm going to go down, meet that area there. Now I'm going to make it a little bit of an angle just on purpose. And then I'm actually going to close the sketch off. So you always got to try to close your sketches off, just like that. Now you see, if I hit the escape key to get out to my normal cursor here, you will see that everything is blue. And that means that it's underdefined. That means that everything here can kind of like move around. Now you might be tempted to use a lot of dimensions for this, but the best thing is actually to use these relationships over here first. So what I'm going to do is I am going to look at things in here and say, all right, what do I want? So I want this line here to be horizontal or vertical. So I'm going to click that, and that became vertical. One of my favorites run down here is called symmetry. So I'm going to use that one. And the way symmetry works is this point, and then that center line. And now this is symmetrical. What that means is that now everything will move together like this. Now with this, I am going to add the dimensions. So I'm going to hit D for dimensions, and I'm going to select this point to this point, and this here is going to be 63. I know that this line over here is going to be 5. And I also know that this point here to this point here is going to be 5. And as soon as this one was supposed to be 2.5, not 5. There we go. And as soon as I do that, you will see that now everything turned black, which means that now this is ready to extrude. So I'm going to hit Q. And you will see that this is kind of like sitting right on this interface, on inside of the part here. So I'm going to add a thickness, -2 millimeters. And there I have just created the first lid. So if I turn the box back on, you will see that that lid is sitting right on the inside of that wall. Now I'm going to use the mirror command again to put one over here on the side. So to do that, I'm going to hit S and type mirror. Now, of course, if I knew I was using the mirror command a lot, I could again go over and hit this little add to toolbox, and now that will always be added to that toolbox. So again, I have it on the features. I'm going to select the object. I'm going to select what I'm going to mirror about, and that's that center plane. And just like that, we have added one to the side. I'm going to repeat the same thing to do it to the two ends. So I'm going to literally do the same thing I did before. I'm going to create a construction offset plane. I'm going to create an offset plane. This time I'm going to select this face. I am going to turn the body off, so I can't see that, and turn on the box. And now I can pick within the box. So this plane here, and I want it to go right to that intersection right there. It's kind of hard to see the point, but it does it. So now we have that plane sitting right on that face. We can turn the box off. We can turn the body back on. And now that plane is sitting right where that is. So I'm going to do another sketch. Right click, create a sketch. Again, it flips it upside down, so I'm just going to rotate it. Just like that. And then I'm pretty much going to sketch what you saw I did before. So a construction line, hit L for line, sketch that one out, select the line, hit X for construction, hit L again to sketch up something close to what we want. There, something down to there, and close that sketch up there. As soon as you sketch it up, you'll see that it kind of like gets this lighter color in the center, but tells you that it's a closed up sketch. Now we can look at relationships. So if I grab this one corner, hold down my mouse button, you will see that my symmetry is definitely not there. So I'm going to add that one first. So the symmetry is sitting over here. Click on that. Point, and the line. Just like that. Now I have the symmetry. Now I'm going to go ahead here, and I can check this line here and see how that is not vertical. So I'm going to select the vertical relationship and add that there. Perfect. You would actually see that the other one has a perpendicular right here, so that one is good. So now I'm going to add a dimension. That is D. And I'm going to select this line here, and that was 2.5. And from the top here down to here, it was 5. And then the width of this little thing here is 18. So from here to here is 18. Again, the sketch turns black. It is now fully defined. I am going to hit the Q. Hit Q for press pull. I'm going to turn the part a little bit here. Hit that. And again, we're going to go -2 millimeters thick. Okay. We have one more thing to do, that is mirror that. So now I just hit the S key, and because I put it up here, I can hit the mirror command. I can select the object. I am going to go over here and activate the mirror plane and select this and hit OK. That's it. Now I could add some different radiuses, of course, to all this. I'm going to skip that. You've already seen me add the different fillets already. So with that, I'm going to turn the origin off here, and I'm going to turn the box back on. Now the box is still transparent because we have the lid activated. If I go up and I turn the eye on to the box, you will see that now the lid is transparent and the box is solid. Well, of course, we're just going to go up to the top level and activate that, and now you will see that everything is the way we want. I'm also going to turn the origin off for the box. So we have kind of like wrapped up our two components. They're all modeled up the way we want them. And now we're going to tie them together as an assembly. So what you want to do is you kind of like want to create these relationships between the two components. Now, the same rules apply to any other software in regards to things being kind of like mated together or metric. So the first thing you will see is if I just left and drag on this body, nothing is tied down in space. I'm going to hit Ctrl+Z to undo that because that's not good practice. We have to tie something down in our assembly. So I'm going to do that with a box. I'm literally just going to do it by right-clicking and ground it. Now what I have done is I've kind of like said this box is not moving in space. So think about your drawing canvas as like being out in space. But the lid can still move around. The card will come up here that will show you my joints video that can help you if you want to dig deeper into this. But for this one here, we're going to use this very cool function that is called as-built joint. So because we build everything together in here, we can use this cool command. And what it does is it just asks you to select the components. So we're going to select the two components. And in this case, it wanted to be rigid, what is actually what we want. So just by clicking these two components, it's kind of like glued together or made it together. But we actually could also do different things. If I selected revolute, and I, for example, selected these holes, you will actually see that now it would be like we used a revolute joint for tying this together. So you have flexibility within this tool. Again, watch the video on this if you need to dig a little bit further into it. I'm just going to use that rigid right here. That's all we need here. Hit that one. And now we got a rigid here, and this lid is not moving because it is built in and rigid to our box that we have designed. You will also see right now that we kind of got a little icon down here. That means that is the joint command, and that one actually lives right in the origin here. You will see we have a joint. We can turn that off if we don't want that. The last thing I want to do to this part is adding the two screws that goes in here. Now, you could, of course, model things up, but there's a very neat tool within Fusion. And if we go up here into Insert, you can actually go down to the Insert McMaster Car component and click that. That will bring you the McMaster Car total catalog, and they have all the different files right in here. So we know that we need to get some kind of a screw. So I'm going to click on that, and you will see that there's all different kinds of screws in here. I want something like this screw here, and I'm just going to filter down. I know that I want it to be metric, so I'm going to select that. And I can actually probably just select this screw here. It looks pretty good to what I want. So I'm going to select that. Make the menu a little bit bigger so we can look in here. And what I'm actually looking for is probably something like a 4mm that is about 13 inches long. So I'm just going to click on the Pro part number right here. And when I do that, it sets me into, I can actually order them right here, but it's awesome. But what I'm going to do is click Product Detail. And then if I scroll down, I can actually right here save it out at a CAD format. And I like to use Step. So I'm going to select that, hit Save, and just like that, that screw with that part number have just been added to my design. I am going to drag the screw out just on the handles and hit OK. And here you will see that we have that screw we're going to use. Now, if you are new to joints, I would definitely recommend that you check out the joints video I created. The card should be flying in up here somewhere. And that will definitely give you all the information you need to know for joints. So I'm going to go up and select the joint command. I'm always say capture position. And you will see if you watch my video, I'm going to hold down the Control key so I can make sure that I actually snap that little Pac-Man icon to the center. And then I'm going to go up and select right I have the peg-bend aligning with the top of the hole. And just like that, I just placed the first screw. Like that. Now I actually want a copy of this. So I'm just going to click on the screw over in the tree over here, do a Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, and I actually just got a second one down here. It's just placed in the exact same spot as the first one. And then I'm just going to do the exact same thing. Hit J for joint. Hover over here, and you see how that moon kind of like follows my mouse cursor, but it kind of like, it has a tendency to snap to all kinds of things. If you are on that face you want, hold down Control, it locks it to that face, and I can now pick up the center, and then I can go out and select the center right out here. And just like that, we have added the screws. That completes this model. So you have your box here, you have your lid, and you have your 2 screws. So I really hope that you found this video helpful, taking a model from the start till finish. And of course, the dataset, this file here, is available down in the description area, along with the links to the couple of videos that I talked about, and of course also the shortcuts. So again, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, then, well, hit the thumbs down. And if you haven't already, I'll appreciate you subscribe. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. And until the next time, have an awesome day.